so I want to show you some great ways to work the side of the neck, which often doesn't get really worked well. And I find that a great way of working it is, in a lot of traditions, they often will work the neck while it's lengthened and stretched. And I find for myself personally that sometimes can feel too invasive. And I think it's often nice to allow the tissues to be a little softer and be shortened and lengthened by moving the person's arm. So I would like to show you that. So let me give you some ideas as far as how you're going to hold it with the body. So before you even start, I'm going to ask you to first just play around with holding the arm between your arms like that. And just giving yourself permission to know that you can move around like that. Okay? The second phase is to support kind of around their bicep and then hold your arm. And then see how you can get that to move. And there's a fair share of body contact. You know, if I want more compression, I can use my belly. Just to give you an idea that you can use one arm to mobilize her arm pretty comfortably. And then I'm going to use my other hand. That's going to become the treating hand. So I'll motion her up. Now I will show you both without my knee up here and also with my knee up here. I often will use my own knee kind of like a bolster to leverage. So that's something you can try at home. But I want to have you start first, just give an idea. So I'm going to be starting kind of along the traps and rhomboids and then working up through the side into the occipital ridge. So grab some tender spots and then shorten and then lengthen. And slowly gliding up while I do that. I'm going to transition to what I normally do. It's usually use my leg to support my forearm. Now my under fingers are also exploring along the edge of the scapula, palpating in a gentle squeeze of the traps and rhomboids. And then sometimes I'll find real tender spots and I'll just shorten and lengthen just little bits. And if you find a zone that's a little more stuck, you can also invite them to gently turn their face towards you, so turn a little, and then the opposite way. And towards me, and then back to neutral. And shorten and lengthen some more. It's also, I think that the neck often just gets worked, the back of the neck, and the side, as long as you're being mindful of the jugular and some of the zones of endangerment, is actually really wonderful to work through here. And gently guiding my way up towards where the jaw and ear come together. It's also really nice. And I invite you, you know, I make this look pretty easy. This may take a bit of practice. Especially with comfort with moving the arm around. So I really invite you to grab a friend first before you try it and just practice. Like, oh, where do I feel comfortable? You know, and just get a little bit more comfortable with this shortening and lengthening. And even this, if you can take a look, even that's really nice. And then you can bring in some of the more specific work. Also, one last thing, just because it feels so good. My underneath fingers are along the edge of the spine, and they're slowly gliding up, working along the back. So I'm navigating up towards the occiput as I shorten and lengthen. So it's mainly my middle finger doing most of the work. And I'm just just oscillating between shortening and lengthening. You can come up, and then integrate by doing some work through the head. But that gives you a good idea of some of the stuff that you can do with the side and the front and back of the neck from the side.